Hi, Soul Babe. How's it going? Just finished watching the sunset. Let's see, right there, and just being grateful for being present and just being able to see. Imagine not being able to see the sunset ever, not knowing what the sunset looks like. And we often take things for granted because we're focusing on the future and the past. We're always basing our happiness, our sense of safety, our sense of peace, not here right now. And that's why we're constantly suffering. That's why we're in this loophole of constant suffering. And we're always finding the wrong in the now. We're always looking for what's wrong, what's not working, what's lacking. And we forget that if we have the time and energy to focus on that, we have the time and energy to focus on what's working, on what's here, on what's present. And when we engage with our senses, with our body, because we came here with nothing but just our body. God made us perfect. God has made us complete, right? And when we engage with that and we tap into that and we allow it to anchor us into the present moment, right? Some people might say that's your sensuality, and a lot of people have a lot to say about sensuality. It's a bad thing. Honey, that's trauma speaking. That's not true. Okay, your body, you are meant to connect to your body. You're meant to, your entire breath, your entire presence is meant to be grounded in your body because your body has all wisdom. That's where your DNA is. That's where your ancestors tapped through you. That's where God taps through you. Your body has wisdom. So if you're not connecting to your ears, right? When you hear noise, are you seeing it? Are you resisting the noise, or are you just like, oh, it is what it is? It's love, right? Even though it's man-made, it's human beings creating the sound. I'm gonna tap in because that's what's present here right now. And when you tap in, when you go past the cuss sounds, and then you start hearing little girls screaming, and after you hear little girls screaming, you probably hear skateboards noise, right? And then you hear the plane overboard, and then when you draw back into your body, it might start sounding like a melody, right? And then when you stop that, you can come back to your mouth. You can tap in with your mouth. You can engage with the whole process of swallowing and being present in your body, and savoring what is, right? And then you can tap into your eyes, looking around you to look for perfection. And often when we're in our mind, we can't even go that deep because we're spending our energy and our time in thoughts and mental images that are disempowering us. But if you tap into your five senses and you let your energy to lean through your five senses, you notice that you start seeing details you've never seen before. Like right now, watching the sunset, when I was present, when I was in my mind, I wasn't aware that there's buildings out there and there's a nice silhouette with us behind the sunset. You know, I wouldn't have tapped in if I wasn't present, right? So being present gives you so much, and that's where your inspiration, that's where God speaks through you. When you're present, when you just surrender, when you're just being, right? But when you're thinking and doing, you're tapped out of your senses most of the time. You're focused on results. You're focused on the future. You're focused on the past. But when you're present, when you're just here now and seeing this as perfection and seeing this as just holy and seeing this as just enough and knowing that everything is complete, everything that you want is here right now, but your mind is creating an illusion like this, honey, right? It's creating separation. But what if you just tap in and come back here to energy? That illusion disappears, right? But when you start focusing on the separation, on what's wrong, what's lacking, you know that you're so far away, you're up there, and your mind is creating all these stories like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to get through this buzz? How am I going to, all this distraction? You're focusing on distraction. But when you ignore all that and you just And now you just like, oh, wow, that's a bar. Okay. And then you focus, ooh, necklace, ooh, earrings, ooh, word, ooh, voice, right? You're tapped in, you're leaning in into what's better. And when you notice yourself focusing on negative thoughts, on the negative story, don't make it wrong. Just be like, oh, I'm aware, like, okay, I created this momentum. I'm here right now. I'm doing this right now. And you could either beat yourself down or just be sweet to yourself, right? And I'm hoping that you do the latter, because we're not doing this thing of disempowering thoughts, pulling ourselves down, kicking ourselves down, kicking down our inner child. That's just sick. Okay, that's just bullying. That's child abuse. You're abusing your inner child. So just tap in into what is. Tap in into what's perfect right now. Use your five senses. Use your touch. Use your beingness to be your inspiration to call you forward to where you need to be. Because when you're focusing on the future, when you're focusing on the past, it's from this perspective. It's from this limitation. But yet you're limitless. You're expansive. You could go there. You could go there, right? But when you focus on this, you can't play. Your consciousness is like putty, it's like dough, right? You can move it however you want to move it. But when you're focusing on the limitations, when you're focusing on what's wrong, you're spending your energy, you're disempowering yourself. So all you need to do is keep focus on ways you can empower yourself. Focus on ways where you can see beauty in what is, even in the negative, even in the darkness, even in the imperfection. See beauty, see completeness, find peace here. Because you're allowing your circumstances to bully you because you are attaching yourself so much to where you are, and that's why you're suffering. But when you detach yourself from your circumstances and you reel all that energy to your five senses, to your breath, to tapping into, like, what am I smelling, honey? Or what am I hearing? When I touch myself, like, I'm just giving myself all the love that I'm seeking out there, right? Like, touching where you need to touch, hugging yourself. When you spend more of your energy doing that, and you ground your energy, that energy you could have been spending in your head. And it's a daily practice. It's a practice, not something, especially if you've been camping out in your mind, it's not something that just happens like that. It's practice, because you've been all this time you've been creating the habit of camping out in your mind. So you got to break that habit. So when you change your habit and spend it through your body instead, and you anchor your energy and you're just being more and thinking less, you become expansive, you become open to more. You connect to yourself deeper. You see the truth. The veil opens, right? But when you start letting your mind control you, you come back to this. So be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself when you find yourself coming back in your mind. When you find yourself focusing on the wrong. Be still and know that everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Even when you fight it, even when you make it wrong. And the less you attach your identity to your current circumstances, the freer you become. And the more you practice the habit of letting go and reeling your energy into now, and you keep doing that as a daily habit, the easier it is to not be a victim of how other people show up, being a victim of your circumstances, being a victim of your mind, because your mind creates stories and it creates a whole mental stage. It creates a whole play of what are people saying, what are people thinking about me, about my current, it's the ego, that likes to disempower you, right? And if you know how to use your ego correctly, it can empower you, right? But that's another topic. Let's not make this too complex. But if you want to connect deeper, you want to face your mountain, I have a link somewhere here, Shadow Alchemy Level 1, where you get to just be and face your mountain in unconditional love. Because it's your mountain, that's where the liquid gold is. And this is something that is so priceless. We can't even put a price tag on it. Because your mountain is it's your embodiment. It's your embodiment activation. Your higher self activation. Because when you get on the other side of the mountain, when you get on the top of the mountain and you embody that, that's your purpose. That's what other people, you're here to serve other people. When you face your mountain, when you overcome your mountain, there are other people who are waiting for you to just come back down and show them how to face their own mountains through your own lenses, through your own perspective. Your mountain is your liquid gold. Your current circumstances, your current problems, your big-ish that's bothering you right now, it's liquid gold. So the fact that it's hard, it means that you're in the process of mastery. It means that you're in the process of elevation. You're in the process of alchemy, right? Pressure. You're shifting. It's metamorphosis. Okay, I'm butchering that word. Like changing from a cocoon to a butterfly. It's painful because you're turning. Imagine a worm, and then you've been a worm. You're in a cocoon, and now you've got butterflies, and the butterflies are the wings are so pretty. They have different colors, right? So think about that. It's a beautiful process. Allow the pain to inspire you forward. Don't numb. Well, easier said than done. Do your best to lean in more into feeling. Because when you feel, that's what will help you get on the mountain top faster. Right? So Shadow Alchemy Level 1, I've linked it here. Face your mountain now. Otherwise, I love you so, babe. See you on the other side.